Hey, it's Joy. I've got big feelings about little things, and I want to talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm mad about it. And the fact that everyone else is not up in arms about it is a big part of the problem. Oh, I bawled my eyes out, like I always do. It was the sweetest thing. Oh, it was the cutest thing. It was the funniest thing. Thanks for being here. Let's go. Hey, it's Joy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm having big feelings about childhood friends. One of the coolest things that has come from this podcast has been hearing from folks from different times in my life. You know, some back in the radio days are reaching out to say hi and congratulations, and some folks from nursing school or just random jobs here and there. But I think some of the funnest ones have been people that I have known for years and years and years, and some that even know some of these stories that I have told and probably know some of the people. And one of my probably longest friends, I'm at the age where I don't say old friends anymore because it is offensive, and I'm not offensive. I'm not an offensive person. So I say one of my longest friends, longest friendships is Nikki, and she just so happens to be right here in the studio with me. Hi, Nikki.
Hello.
How are you, friend?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to see you.
It's really honestly crazy to see you because I just adore you,
because
even though I
still
haven't seen you.
10.
You look 10 years old. You got the energy of a 12-year-old. And to give you a peek behind the curtain, we briefly chatted about this, but we literally saw each other in the parking lot on our way in here for the first time in probably 15 years or something. I mean,
yeah.
We text every once in a while, like, oh, like I remember one, I was like, oh, hey, LOL to look who I came across on a dating app, you know? And it's like, oh, wow, only Nikki would appreciate the fact that I'm coming across this person on the dating app. So I have to text you about it
so much.
But we really haven't seen each other and haven't been, been like in each other's lives for such a long time. I would love, if you don't mind, just telling me like, what do you remember about us being friends as kids?
My word.
Or if anything?
Such joy, no pun intended. Gosh, one of my first memories is when I went to your house to play. Mm-hmm. I think we may have been in kindergarten or first grade. And we made a huge mess in your room. And
that sounds about right.
My mom came to pick me up, and I was like, ooh, let's start cleaning up. And you were like, no, my mom's got it. My mom. And I was like, what? And you were
what life are you living, you
like,
spoiled, rotten
what?
Princess?
And you were like, no, my mom cleans my room. And literally for the duration of my childhood, I was like, Mom, Joy's mom cleans her room. And then I think one day she finally cleared it up with your mom. Your mom was like, what in the world?
Knowing your mom and knowing my mom, I know they talked about it. And my mom was like, that's such bull. Do not believe a thing she says.
I mean, that's probably my earliest memory, but some of the biggest memories are like going to Six Flags every day in the summer, every day.
We literally had season passes. Mm-hmm. And would go to Six Flags. I mean, honestly, your mom would drop off and my mom would pick up, or vice versa.
Remember we would wear our Coca-Cola shirts?
No, but what a fantastic memory.
Yeah, and shorts. And then
we're so proud to match.
Slip-ons that we got at Payless.
Yeah, probably on a BOGO. Buy one, get one, baby. Buy one, get one half off.
Oh, show.
Well, what I thought was so fascinating about us going to Six Flags all the time, besides that it was hilarious that was our thing that we did.
We loved it.
But I loved every minute of it. I want the roller coasters faster and taller.
Remember we went on Labor Day every year, and we didn't start school until the day after Labor Day back then. And Labor Day was dead at Six Flags.
I don't remember that. Mm-hmm. But we knew, see, that's the thing. We knew how to work the system.
Yeah, we did.
We're like, let's go. Mm-hmm. And our absolute last chance before we start school, we got to go to Six Flags one more time. Well, I used to ask my mom as I aged up a little bit, I'd be like, can we go to the mall? Can me and Nikki go to the mall? No, it's not safe. And I would use Six Flags against her. I'd be like, you think I'm safe at Six Flags?
Yeah.
But for some reason, that did not bother her.
I don't know.
And the mall did. Mm-hmm. You know, she said, you're not going to the mall, which was the right decision.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Right. That mall was not safe.
It was not safe, but I still wanted to go to it and go to Spencer's. Too bad. I did.
Wait. Where did I want to go besides Mervyn's?
Claire's?
No, there was like oh gosh, it was like all denim and
Oh, something cool.
oh, I don't know, but I could have never.
So for some reason, not for some reason, I take that back. You were like my coolest friend, especially after we left. We went to private school together through 5th grade. And then in 6th grade, we splintered off and went to public school, and because where we lived, we went to different schools. But you were so very cool, and you dated before I did, and you had all you just were very very cool. You dressed well, you did your makeup well, all the things you did. You did everything great, and so I was like, I gotta try to keep up. But it was hard. We didn't go to the same school after that.
It's probably best because then you would have known the truth behind all of it.
What was the truth?
I was not cool.
Well, unfortunate. Not cool. Well, don't tell me that. I'll never know.
I mean, I had a boyfriend, but I had to hide it from my parents. We never. We didn't have phones back then. We didn't
exactly.
Even talk
How
on
do
the
you
phone.
even?
We
You just
wrote
go
notes.
to school. Oh yes.
We didn't go to the same school. I remember his name. I won't say it.
But how did you meet him if you didn't go to the same school? Because you were doing fun, cool things outside of.
I think I met him through church.
Oh yeah, maybe. Did you keep any of those notes? Or have they been in some closet clean out?
I think in some life
2010,
happening.
You're like,
I've lost them for sure.
But maybe they're in a museum somewhere. I do think they probably should be right next to the cassette player, the Walkman. And guys, we were cool. We could take our music to go back then. And then the notes. And I know for a fact you folded them cool so that when you pulled it out, it would, exactly. Do you think you could do that today if I gave you 10 minutes and I
could probably figure it out?
I think you could too.
I could definitely make
so she's doing a thing where it's like all four
there's a name for those
triangles, and you go up and out, up and out, up and out, up
and then you unfold it.
Yes, and
then you ask another question.
Exactly, and so you learn who you're
called?
gonna.
It has a name.
Someone will will comment on it, but I don't remember what it was called. But I do remember us making those all the time, and open and close, and it would answer some question of where you're going to live and who. Very MASH-like.
How many kids you're going to have?
Yeah, who are you going to be married to, and what kind of house are you going to live in? A shack or a mansion? Obviously,
I was always going to drive a limo. Except I don't know if I would drive it or if I thought I was going to just ride in it.
Sure. I mean, either way, you're driving a limo. That's also your job. I don't know about that. I think you thought you were going to ride in a limo. Yeah, 100%.
In person.
So my very first, very vivid memory of us is I had a little denim skirt that had Pebbles on it. So Pebbles is like the girl from the Flintstones.
Oh,
and she had, and maybe there was like a dinosaur on it or something. It was a little denim skirt. I called it a jean skirt. That's any denim I called jean. And my mom, a sweet mom, she just was raising me to learn to pray. And so we were going to start a prayer journal, and we were going to pray for something, and we were going to write down what we prayed for. And then there was another column that she set up for when the prayer got answered.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so I put the prayer down that Nikki would also wear her Pebble skirt, because you had one that was twins with me. And we didn't have cell phones for me to text and say, hey.
Gibsons?
Probably. Honestly. And I wish they were available to, if you'd like to support this podcast and you want to come back into business, please contact me at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
And I knew you had it. And I wasn't going to have my mom call your mom. So I prayed that you would wear your skirt the next day.
Were you able to fill in the answer column?
And I was able, the next day you wore it. And my mom was like, I know, the Lord's going to teach you to pray for what you need. And so you wore the skirt the next day.
I wish it was still working that way.
I know, right? But then I think the next time I wanted to wear it again. And that morning I got sick. And I was like, could not go to school. And so I never found out whether you wore your skirt or not. But I remember that being a very big part of our lives. The other thing I remember being a big part of our lives for some reason was tetherball. Do you remember? Do you remember tetherball?
I still know the feeling of when you get it going, and then you swing, and your arm like kind of misses it, but it's
still going, so you kind of get credit for it.
Oh yeah, I had some upper body strength back then, so I was.
You were probably you were the tetherball queen. I mean, I wasn't that. I was more my power was in my lower quadrants, but I still like really tried, to get out there.
And then that thing you would get when your arm hit the rope. Oh, besides the fact that it disqualified you,
it was the worst. What did you call that? Roping it or something? I mean, you called it something like.
I think you just go rope.
You got the rope. Can't do the rope. Oh my goodness gracious. But we went to school together from kindergarten through 5th grade, all those young years. I do remember as we got older though, one of the reasons I kind of thought you were cool was your mom was a little bit how do I want to phrase this in a nice way? Less strict than my mom.
Yeah, probably because I had older brothers that were a lot older than me.
Yes. And it was like, by the time you came along, it was like, whatever, man,
Thank you.
But it wasn't, I mean, it was things so silly. Your mom let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
My favorite.
And it was her she laughed through the entire thing. And I was so scared. And I was like, I can't even watch this at home. Like, what are you laughing at?
Oh my gosh.
But it was so fun. I didn't even tell her.
Well, there were some big inconsistencies because I was the youngest by a long shot.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I probably went to some movies that I shouldn't have seen, but I just remember not understanding anything and just being like, oh, cool.
Well, and I still think that to this day, like someone will be like, can my 4-year-old see Barbie? I'm like, what are they going to understand of it? Go ahead. Let them watch the car and the house and the outfits.
And the music.
That's all they really, trust me, they're not going to come home and be like, we got to take down the patriarchy. They're just like, oh, did you see that tennis? Awesome. Yeah, that would be. Well, I'm saying let's just let them do it. Yeah. Let's go take it down. It's like, what are you under? You're looking at the pink dress. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I'm also very grateful because when you grow up in a house that's very restricted like that, you miss a lot. Like I had to learn about the Jackson 5 later. Oh. Like in retrospect. And it was so, I wish I had known, because it was nice to know about Nightmare on Elm Street, or it was nice to know about MTV, spring break or whatever thing, because otherwise I kind of wasn't connected,
Yeah. I mean, I think there was a huge disconnect and just maybe on a different level when I was that age with the people I went to school with when we were older. I mean, I was very sheltered.
Oh, really?
Compared to others.
To them.
Yeah. So you were like sheltered times.
I was double. I was going to say if the sheltered person was my cool person, what does that tell you? She was so cool.
And what does that make us now?
Oh, I know, right?
Rebel.
I mean, big rebel. Look at our tattoos. We both. Girl. I mean, I haven't like stepped up to your level, but look at us.
I can hook you up.
That'd be great. You got a great shoulder. I love that. She's got a beautiful one on her shoulder. I may have to take a picture and show the listeners. It's gorgeous. When did you get that?
Probably 3-4 years ago. Probably 4 years ago.
Yeah. I was a rebel for a little bit, but I'm also I'm aging out of it. I'm kind of tired. And I'm like, I'll just go to bed. But
I didn't
my heart is rebellious.
40.
Yeah, I think I was 42.
Yeah. And my mom was always like, what do you think it's going to look like when you're 85? I'm like, who cares what it looks like when you're 85?
Am I even going to recognize it?
No.
I mean, I don't care. Yeah.
No, it's going to sag to the ground. I don't care.
And am I going to be wearing a sleeveless top at that point? Like, maybe not. I don't think I'm going to care about any of that when I'm 80.
My tattoo is going to be the least of my worries.
Exactly. And I mean, honestly, that's fine with me too. Like, I'm going to be like, do I have any teeth? I know. Is someone here to take care of me? Exactly. Like we're busy doing other things. Do you think I'm going to be like, I don't know, girl, that tattoo looks a little saggy.
Let's get this removed.
Have you got any regrets over there? We're like,
None.
when's the tapioca pudding coming out? I got bigger fish to fry over here.
It's 3:30. Time for my meds.
Yeah, I gotta have my meds and watch a judge show and take a nap. I got stuff to do.
Worry about the future. say things like, this world's going to hell in a handbasket.
Exactly. Like I got bigger worries than this little tattoo that's hanging off of everything.
Totally.
Well, it's very fascinating to me how I can see you for the first time in 15 years and truly just feel like I'm so excited to see you.
I know.
It's so great to see you in a very particular way. And we hadn't planned on this, but I'm going to ask you to come back for the next episode if you don't mind, because I love telling all these old stories, but I have a couple things I really want to ask you about. If you don't mind, can you hang around?
Yeah, I would love it.
Okay, perfect. But what are you doing right now? Would you like to plug anything? Are you in any new movies, or what are you?
Yeah, I can't talk about it.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for you. But is there anything? Do you have a website? You've done beautiful art for me before, and all kinds. You have a ton of talents. But
oh, you're so nice. Social media.
Okay,
probably,
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nikki, and you're Nikki.
Nikki.
That's how I've always spelled Nikki since. For the rest of the time, I have to correct myself if I'm going to spell it a different way, just because you're my first Nikki. And what's your last name?
Spurlock. SP.
Urlock. Okay, perfect. Go find her on social. You did a beautiful drawing of my sister's dog for her Christmas gift this past year. She loves it. And it's really, you just did a nice job somehow capturing his personality, which I don't know how you do that, but I'm not an artist. So go find her on social, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Little Things, Big Feelings with Joy Delaney. I'm James, the producer, editor, director, and executive producer. Follow Joy on socials at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Honestly, forget TikTok. I don't even know how to use it
You don't
anyway.
even know how to use it anyway.
James?
Follow Joy on socials at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram and Facebook. See you next week.